Hey everyone. So, more bath time ramblings of a mad woman. I was thinking, with all this Johnny and Amber going on and highly exposed narcissist abuse, domestic violence. I was wondering a big question I've got to ask, would psychology play a big part in society, if it was taught more in schools, colleges, in that sort of thing. It's a lot bigger than what people think it is, the link between domestic abuse, mental illness, the state of society. It's a free-for-all at the moment. It's everybody's all about me, and it's not the way to go, It's been like that for hundreds of years, and it's not working. It's not been working. We need a new way of thinking. And I do believe that I've hit the nail on the head with toxic behaviour and the way society reacts to it. You just do it in your family setting. You know how toxic behaviour is in that, or in a relationship setting. And you just spread it to the wider world. Governments treat us like slaves. They keep us pinned down with fear, especially people on benefits, I mean, I have been on benefits for quite a while due to my back and my mental health. It's not a nice place to be. You're living from hand to mouth. Some people think, you're on benefits, you live a life of luxury. No. You can have them taken away in an instant, and that they have been, and especially when I've had my daughter when she was very young. I was a struggling single mum. And you have your benefits taken away, and it's like, oh my God, how am I going to feed my child? And you don't think about how you're going to feed yourself. It is all about your child, especially when you're a caring, loving mother, you try and do things, and it keeps you in a trap, and even that in itself is detrimental to somebody's mental health. It had a big impact on mine. I've worked a hell of a lot, doing different jobs. I even worked for the government once at the job centre. I never hated a job so much in my life. It's not the fact that it was an office job. I'm an outdoors person. I like outdoors jobs. And I'd been a deckhand for 10 years working on a boat beforehand. But I just split up with my ex-husband, going through a divorce and custody case, and I had to prove that I could look after myself and my child. So I went for an interview at the job centre, and lo and behold, I got it. I was quite surprised, actually, and I got put in a department for doing job searches for people. They'd phone up or I'd phone them, and we'd go through what sort of work they wanted, and trying to get them back into work. Now, in that situation, it was bias. I mean, I suppose I'm becoming a whistleblower now. I've not worked for them for, oh God, when was that? Back in 2004, 2005. So it's way past my keep quiet contract that I had to sign. I did get sacked in the end, but that was due to mental health, and some of the mad stories I can tell you about that, what they did as well. But yeah, when I'd got the job, got told I got the job, obviously we have an induction. We had a week's training of how things worked in the job centre departments. Some of them were going off onto other departments, but we all got the basic same training to start with in the first week before we got split up into our separate departments. So some would be working in incapacity, doing the claims, and some like me would be doing the job searches, and others would be doing disability benefits and other things. And but we all got the basic same training. So on the first day, we got told how income support worked and disability benefits. and the procedure that they put people through. And this is behind the scenes, this is. Because obviously you've got to fill in your forms, which are very detailed and in themselves can be traumatic. You know, I've had to say, God, you know, what's wrong with you? Why is your mental health like it is? You know, and you have to. It's a big trigger in itself, and you've got to go back over all these traumatic experiences that you're trying not to remember, and it's just for help that you need. You know, it's horrible. It's traumatizing. It's disgusting. So that in itself, that's a trauma. You know, you've got to put yourself through all that. Now, when you post your claim form back, well, this is back then. I'm not quite sure if this is still how it works, but I'm assuming that not much has changed since. When you send your forms in, we was told by our supervisor who was training us that they purposefully reject people up to 3 times, and then they'll get the benefit if they appeal again for the last time, you know. So, and it's a deterrent. This is what the bloke said. It says it's a deterrent that we do. So people, weak-willed people, you know, people with mental illnesses like me that get triggered by doing the forms and having to go through the process again and again and again, it's so they stop, so they don't claim what they're entitled to, and this is how the government saved money. But you know, I was taken aback by that straight away when I got told that, and I sort of, what? You know, and when in the training you're going through all this, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to act, and everything like that. You know, company guidelines or governmental guidelines of not being biased to anyone, you know, don't be sexist, don't be racist, you know, gender, you know, be gender neutral and everything, like, you know, you get trained to be like that. But then in the same instance, like on my floor where I worked, doing the job searches, for starters, you was put, well, the people that you was helping were put into numerical order. Like, if, let's say, you had a single man phone you up that wanted a job, and you got him into a job, I personally would get 1 point. If I was to put a single woman into work that's got no kids, I'd get 2 points. If I was to put a single woman into work that had a family, I'd get 5 points. And let's say I put a single man or woman with a disability into work, I'd get 12 points. And at the end of the week, it all tallied up, and the person on our floor that got the most points would win a prize. Now, that in itself is bias, you know? They've put you into a structure where you're trying to win more points just to get a prize at the end of the week. So who are you going to help? You're going to help the disabled people the most, aren't you? And if there's none about, you're going to go for the single mums, you know, that need to get back into work. And then it's going to be the single women back into work. And then the single males are the last ones that you're going to help. Now, in my area around where I live, in St Helens, in Merseyside in England, it's an old mining town. Now, I've been keeping up with mental health issues since I found out about my own. And a few years ago, it was actually top of the world for the highest male suicide rates in the world. Now that's disgusting. And I know a lot of lads around here, some of them are absolutely beautiful souls, and others, they are nasty as anything, you know. But the parents are the same. You see like a toxic cycle. Some of them break out of it, but some of them don't. And then they're committing suicide. You know, there's no job prospects around here. The town's dead, you know. The shops are shutting down. There's nowhere for them to work. There's absolutely nothing for them to do. My daughter, she lives around here, and she has to look elsewhere for work, you know, outside of her area. So she's travelling to work all the time, on public transport, which costs a fortune. And because she's having to sort of like travel an hour or two by bus to get to work, she's being late and then she's getting fired, you know. She's going through all this training first, and you know, she's going after job after job after job, but there's nothing around here in St Helens for her. It's absolutely ridiculous. The town's dying. I mean, they're supposed to be putting so much million into restoring St Helens, but it's taken a long time, and the toll on the people as it's going on, it's horrible. The mental health services here, you know, you'd think with an area that's top in the world for suicide, for male suicide, that the mental health would be brilliant around here, but it's absolutely disgusting. There was a time myself, I've had to wait 1.5 years to get seen by somebody, and that was at my lowest of low, you know. You haven't got 1.5 years to wait when you're in that state of mind, you know. You might not even have an hour before, you know, something happens, you know. In my case, definitely, and I know in a lot of other cases. I mean, it's a dear friend of mine and my daughter's. She called him her big brother, Joseph Howarth. He come and lived with us for a little while. Now, I was going through a lot of mental health issues at the time. I was basically confining myself to my bedroom. Would hardly talk to anybody. Would hardly see anybody. Now, Joe got kicked out, and my daughter was like, Mum, please, we've got a spare room. Can Joe stay with us? And I was like, yeah, of course he can. You know, I don't want to see anybody on the street. So he was made up, bless him. Yeah, he was a beautiful soul. It's his birthday, I think it was just gone. He's a beautiful lad. I think he was 24, 25 at the time. Yeah, and I knew he had problems, but I tried to interact with him with the best I could under my own mental health issues. I had to laugh with him and things like that, you know. His birthday was around the time that he moved in, so Jay was like, "Can we get him a birthday cake?" So we did. We got him this caterpillar one, and he was so made up. Bless him, he cried, you know. So I could see the sort of lad he was, you know. Somebody giving him a chance, and a birthday cake for his birthday. So bless him. So yeah, he started working, and he was going away for a few days at a time. Like, I can't remember where he was working. And then one day, he didn't come back. My daughter told me. I can't remember exactly what she said, but I can't remember if they said they don't know if it was an accident or if he tried to hang himself. But he's in intensive care, and he's really bad. You know, my heart broke. It's doing it now, but I know he's in a better place. He died not long after in intensive care, the poor lad. But he was a beautiful human being. I mean, I still talk to him now. I go to Queenfields Festival, and I had a pair of sunglasses. I say had. I'll explain why. I had a pair of sunglasses that was his, that got left behind when his family come and took all his stuff from the house. So I used to take them with me in his memory, because he was like that. He liked that sort of thing. He was life and soul of the party, you know. He'd be the one that dressed up and run around like a lunatic and just be a complete nutter. He reminded me of me. So, you know, I used to take him to Creamfields with me. But last year, I, right at the end, the last set, I watched Tiesto. I'd gone to the toilet, and I was just walking back with a friend to my tent. And I was like, oh, I've lost my sunglasses. I've left them somewhere. I've lost them. Obviously, I'm not going to find them because they're cleaning up now and they've got blowers and all sorts blowing all the trash around. I'd never find them again. But it's funny because that night I had a big panic attack after I heard a lad get his head kicked in. Proper panic attack. I've not felt like that for a long time. Proper terrified child. And I think in my own mind, I think Joe knew that I wouldn't be going back because of that incident. I wanted to stay there. And I didn't know at the time, but the last set, the Tiesto set, there was a family that had asked Creamfields if they could spread one of their friends or family's ashes. I think it was another young lad that had committed suicide. Lost his life somehow, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look into the story for that properly to tell you. But yeah, young lad that lost his life, he was a big Creamfields fan, into his rave and having a good time and having, a decent love, a lovely soul. So they asked if they could spread his ashes, and they actually put him in the confetti cannon at the end of I can't remember if it was at the end of the Tiesto set or at some point in the Tiesto set anyway. And it was absolutely amazing, and I thought, Joe wanted to stay there too. So I'm not upset about that. He's where he wanted to be. I've still got some little mementos of him anyway. But yeah, it's male suicide. There's something causing it. Whether it's unemployment, whether it's just a state of society, whether it's their home environment. There is too many young men, older men of all ages, committing suicide. And they think they can't speak out. My throat's doing it. See, even I'm doing it. They can't speak out. Now, that's a sign from the universe, that one is. If you're into spirituality, you know about your chakras, a throat chakra, not being able to speak up. I think a lot of males find it very, very difficult just because of the ridicule they'll get from it. Being called soft and weak. Nah, stop crying, you just man up, no, that's not how it goes. Don't ever say that to a man. They are a human being. They're just the same as women. We're both the same. We might have different genitals, but brain function and things like that are near on exactly the same. So of course a man needs to cry, he needs to grieve, he needs to feel that he can be vulnerable, he needs to feel that he's loved and wanted. It's the same as a woman. We're put into two separate things that we need to be. A woman needs to be at home with the kids, the caregiver, and a man needs to provide, needs to be strong. We're going back to caveman times. We've evolved since then. We're not cave people anymore. Well, I'm not, definitely. I know there is some cave people out there still, but, some Neanderthals, but that's because they haven't got the brain capacity to learn and to move forward. But if you're not giving people the knowledge, then how are they going to move forward? So this is why I think psychology should play a bigger part in society. Sorry, I'm sweating in my bath. Part of the cancer treatment, it's put me through early menopause, so I get hot sweats, especially when I'm in a warm place and I'm in a hot bath. So yeah, excuse the sweatiness, but this is me. And as somebody said, be raw. They like the honestness and the truthfulness. Thank you very much, Carrie F. A beautiful comment. That was amazing. Thank you. It made me smile. I'm glad people are liking what I'm putting out, and this is me. This is who I am. This is who I am in real life. And this is who I am on the camera. This is who I am on my own. People who know me, personally know me, will go, yeah, I'd agree, yeah, that's who she is. She's a bit of a nutter as well, you know. The more I get used to this, the more of myself will come out. I mean, I've been the sort of like, oh, I better be good and all this, but yeah, the more I relax around this, the more you'll see my personality come out, the more jokes I'll come out with, and it's just like getting to know the world, letting them get to know me, you know. It was like a bit like that reading the poem out yesterday. It's standing up in front of the class and having to speak, and I hated that when I was a child. Absolutely hated it. That was one of my fearful moments, panic attacks and anxiety attacks at school. Just having to stand up and read, because I couldn't really read very well. So stuttering all the time and things like that. This is why I like it when it comes natural, because, you know, I'm not trying to read something. I just can't do that. I know I might say a lot. I don't know if it's getting better because I've not been looking through the videos, but maybe not. But it's part of me. It's who I am. I think I do it in real life as well. I'm not sure. I'll have to pay attention more. But yeah, definitely I think society needs to wake up to the psychological impact that toxic leaders, toxic people in general are doing to us. I do think there is a big connection there, and I think it's the biggest way forward that we can go to make this world a better place. So I'd just like to say thank you, everybody. I'm absolutely amazed that I've gone through the 100 mark. Onwards and upwards, eh? Please share. Do it discreetly. You know, don't tag people because they might get offended or it might cause harm. Just post it on your timelines. Just with a heading, domestic abuse awareness. Check this out or something like that, you know, something, you know, that's generally for everybody. Just don't make it personal to someone, because like I say, it can cause problems for them. Even just a panic attack, it's enough to set off. It's you know, I've done it myself, you know, especially when you're trying to escape someone and you're trying to work things out and keep things quiet, you know. Having something like that pop up on your news feed because somebody's tagged you, and it's like, oh shit, you know, oh god, no, they're gonna find out, you know. Panic. And it's a complete mental meltdown. So yeah, just do it discreetly. I very much appreciate that. So anybody that needs the help, there is help out there for mental health and to escape domestic abuse. I mean, I am a survivor of many horrible things. Like I say, 47 years. Not for the last 3 years, but there has been little incidences. But because of my healing, I've been able to overcome them. They've not affected me as much as what they would have done in the past. And I'm amazed. I never thought that day would come. You know, I was at rock bottom. I didn't know where to go, who to turn to. Thought I was on my own, and you're not on your own at all. There are people out there that will help as soon as you ask them to, but you've got to ask. They will keep you safe. They will keep your family safe. You will get all the help that you need. So do not be afraid to escape that trauma. Do not be afraid to stand up for your rights. Do not be afraid to stand up against abuse. More people need to be aware of abuse. So even if you see your neighbour, you know, having a screaming argument and, you know, one's kicking shit at the other, you know, it's abuse. Even verbal abuse. It's daft because when there's a narcissist and they've got you in their trap, you know, even a certain look, it can trigger. And it really is. It does get in every aspect of your life. But there is a way forward. There is a way to escape. There is hope. You've just got to believe that there's hope, and only you can make the first move. And I do recommend that you do it. If your life is in danger, or you think that your life is in danger, you tell the police, you tell them everything that's gone on. You open your heart and your soul, and you tell them everything. Tell them how it affects you. Tell them how much you're in fear, Tell them every single detail, no matter how embarrassing or humiliated you think you feel, or you will feel. I'm not think you feel, you will feel it, because you already do feel it, but you've got nothing to lose. You already feel that bad, you already feel all sorts of negative things that aren't true. This is what happens with mental manipulation. It's all bullshit. Everything they've told you about you is bullshit. It's actually them. Everything they tell you, it's what they are. They reflect what they see in you. It's back on them. It's what that is in there. Yeah, I can't get it out. I hope you understand it. It's like a mirror effect. They're telling themselves who they are. They're not telling you who you are. They're telling themselves who they are. It's the same when you only have love for someone, and I can tell people that beautiful and things like that. It's a reflection of who I am inside, and when you get to know that you are a nice person, you are a kind person, you're not this nasty, horrible monster that everybody's made you out to be, or the narcissist, and then knock-on effect, domino effect, it stretches out into the wider field because they want to keep you contained and trapped. But once you start realising this, it's like the penny drops, and you go, oh, brain starts working, it's right, cool. And the more your brain works and the more you move forward, the more these people can't affect you anymore. It's brilliant, it really is. Opportunities will come up for them to do this to you again, and you can just walk away. It's amazing. Instead of having that trigger that sets you back into that relationship again, that horrible pattern, you can actually just walk away because you know your self-worth and you love yourself enough not to take that sort of crap. Break old generational curses and, break old relationship habits, If it's going wrong and it keeps going wrong, then the only way to fix it is to walk away, because it's always going to go wrong, especially when you're in a narcissistic relationship. Normal relationships will grow and evolve, and, partners will agree with each other or come to terms, and actually grow and move forward. But somebody that wants you there for them and only them, of course the relationship's not going to grow. They don't want it to grow. They're quite happy to drain every bit of energy, money, whatever resources from you until there's nothing left and you either die or walk away. Some people have the strength to walk away, and others, they commit suicide. It's horrible. It really is. It's life-threatening. I've saved my own life from learning how to react and understand these people. I've saved my life over and over again. It's when I look back, I think, my God, and you kick yourself and you think, oh shit, I should have done this a hell of a lot sooner, but I didn't know at the time, and until you actually learn, then you're not going to know. And this is why it should be taught in school, at home, everywhere. Maybe this is a way forward to make humanity evolve into something better, instead of constantly under the thumb of these narcissists that just want power over people and want money, will cause whatever they can to get it. They don't care how many people they kill in the process. Wars, straight away there's innocent people going to war for people that have fallen out, narcissists that I want this out of your country, you've got more oil than me, you've got more money than me, you're not giving me arms, you're not giving me any weapons, so I want to blow you up, and I'm going to get these people to do it for me. It's toxic cycles all over the place, and until we actually realise the toxic cycles and what they are. It's just going to stay the same. But maybe one day, people are listening. People are listening to what I've got to say, and they're liking what I've got to say, relating to it, and finding solace in it, which is good, and that's what it should be about when you put your message out there. It should be about helping people and helping them grow. So yeah, please share discreetly. And let's see what happens. Maybe we can have a revolution in the future of empaths. Empaths unite, we take over the world. Oh dear, it would be nice. We can all dream. I know I've waffled on for a bit now, half an hour, and it's going to take me ages to upload this. So I shall say goodbye and finish off my bath now. So thank you very much for listening. Love you all, and bye-bye.